RoadChaser TV with me, Roman Micah. Join me as I take you around the world to test drive some of the world's best cars. First, we'll start in Italy, test driving the 2011 Touareg Hybrid. Then it's off to America. We'll have a ride in the 300C up to Buffalo Bill's grave. Then back to Italy to test drive the Gallardo, and finally back home to America to take the Tesla Roadster, that's the all-electric car, on a road trip to Estes Park, Colorado. So, thanks for taking the time to join me, and let's have some fun and go for a ride. Welcome to Tuscany, Italy. Come join me as I take the new 2011 Touareg for a test drive. The Touareg will come in many different flavors, including a brand new hybrid, which is this one. So let's take it for a ride and see how this hybrid does in Florence, Italy. Volkswagen invited a small group of American car journalists to test drive the new generation Touareg. So here I am behind the wheel of the new Touareg hybrid in Florence, Italy. And the first driving impression is that it's crazy driving in Italy. My God, these people go wherever they want, however they want. It's hard to concentrate on how to drive a car when you're too terrified of getting hit by a car. We took turns driving and, of course, avoiding hitting each other to get a good impression of what it's like to drive the new hybrid Touareg. So what's your initial impression?
It's comfortable with a hybrid, or maybe if you go for the diesel, it will be a cheap to drive car, and you're getting that high-end feel like a Porsche Cayenne or an X5 or an RX 350 for, I hope, a bunch of thousands of dollars less. I mean, what the low-end manufacturers like VW or Hyundai are doing really sort of challenge the idea of what's a high-end car and what's a low-end car, because the low-end cars are so good. And how do you cost justify the premium you pay for a Lexus or a Mercedes or BMW? They're better, but are they better at twice the price or 10% higher? Or
are they twice as good? In America, the Touareg is not really a big car, but we're in a city, and you'd think that a big SUV like this, for Europe at least, wouldn't do so well, but we're doing okay in these little tiny streets with these scooters zipping by. Of course, we had help from the navigation system that did seem to have a little trouble pronouncing some of the Italian street names.
Please turn left in 200 meters into Viale Alessandro Guidoni.
Alright, will do. Volkswagen has yet to release the official EPA numbers, but doing some quick calculations on a napkin, converting from the European numbers, figure the car will get about, at best, 28 miles to the gallon.
The electric engine provides 47 horsepower, and the combustion engine does 333, so overall you got 380 horsepower, and even more impressive is the torque that converts to 425 foot-pounds of torque.
Now we're in the diesel version of this car, and diesel is obviously not something that Americans fancy very much. We tend to like gasoline better, but I gotta tell you, these new diesels, I can't tell them in a diesel. Can you tell by the engine note, or?
If you're outside the car when it starts up, you can tell that it's a diesel, a little bit lower thrumming noise, but once you're inside, and especially once you're going more than 10 miles per hour, it's just the same as a gasoline engine car.
With like 30% better gas mileage. Our test Touareg came with three-way adjustable suspension. We have a definite disagreement. He says he can tell the comfort settings. I say I can't tell. So maybe the truth lies somewhere in between the two of us. Maybe my butt isn't as well calibrated or as well tuned as your butt, Bill. So we tried a little test to see whose butt was better calibrated. Spinning the wheel of comfort, spinning the wheel of comfort. All right, what are we on?
We're on this turn with a little bit of body roll. I'd say we're in normal. Oh, we went to comfort, didn't we?
Yes, very good.
Okay.
I am impressed, my man. You do know your...
Let me try it one more time.
All right, spinning the wheel of comfort. Here we go. Once again. What are we at now?
We are in sport mode.
Yes, we are. 3 out of 3. That's right. Very impressive. Very impressive. Good. So Bill is holding the camera now, and as you can tell, he's found a way to very accurately calibrate his butt.
If you take a look at the steering column, you can tell why. Go ahead and look at the center stack here.
Yeah.
What do you see?
I see. Which mode are we in now?
I'm guessing we're in normal mode.
Very good. Next, we were on our way to test drive the smaller 6-cylinder diesel, but this time with a twist. Volkswagen had set up an off-road course. The Touareg behind me, well, that's the one that they raced at the Paris-Dakar. This Touareg, that's the new 2011 Touareg. So let's see if the 2011 Touareg is as good off-road as the same one, but the race version. The 6-cylinder diesel had Volkswagen's off-road package, which allows you to raise the suspension and lock the differentials. I'm in the Touareg, and I'm about to take it on some pretty gnarly road with some pretty deep holes. Let's see how it goes. I know we tested 3 cars. We tested a hybrid, we tested a diesel 6-cylinder and diesel 8-cylinder. What's going to come to the US? What models?
Well, it's actually all 3 of them,
All 3 of them.
because we want the customers anywhere, it doesn't matter if it's Europe or the United States, to have the full range to choose from.
The second generation Touareg is a little bit lighter, about 400 pounds, and a little bit softer, but I have to tell you, I was hard pressed to tell. Yeah, we were just on the off-road course, and it was amazing what the car could do.
Yep.
Wheel in the air, you know.
2 wheels actually.
2 wheels in the air, and the car's still going well. So.
Right. It's also a very stiff construction. So you could even standing in such a situation with 2 wheels in the air, you could still open the door and close the door as it's so rigid. We don't have prices for the United States yet, as we are still half a year away, but the prices are about equal to what we have today.
So what do you think? Feel comfortable taking this thing off-road?
For a car that's supposed to have been softened up for regular roads, this version is pretty amazing on this off-road, which has got some pretty steep slopes and those big depressions.
Well, there you have it. In some ways, a new 2011 Touareg is almost better off-road than on-road. Welcome to Golden, Colorado, the first capital of the territory of Colorado, and of course, home to the Coors Brewing Company. Join me and my partner in crime, Nathan Adlin, as we take this hot Hemi for a ride up the mountain.
But ask me how I feel about forever, and I'll tell you my thoughts on how I own the weather.
So, Golden, Colorado is also known, besides the Coors Brewery, of course, for Buffalo Bill's grave. Join me and Nathan as we take the 300C up to Buffalo Bill's grave, but first, as you can tell, howdy folks, welcome to Golden, where the West lives. Nathan, you're a Westerner, do you feel like this is where the West lives?
It's where the West lived. Past tense.
What we've got here is we've got a car with 425 horsepower, a Hemi engine. We're going to take it up the mountain to try to put this car and this city into some sort of perspective. Nathan's already stepping on the gas because it's so much fun. It has a lot of interior room, and it's just a classic American muscle car. Would you agree, Nathan?
Absolutely. I think this car has a lot going for it. Now, you know, the funny thing about the 300C, and actually a lot of other products that are built off the platform, is technically speaking, this car has a European heritage. It's built off the old Mercedes E-Class chassis, and it uses some of the same stampings. So we're talking about a car that actually has a little bit of a dual personality in its past. It's a good car, it really is.
Do you think that it's built for these kind of switchback roads in Colorado?
The only problem with the switchback roads here is that we're up nearly 7,000 feet, which means we've tapered off significantly on our horsepower. I would imagine we're getting around 350 or 360 horsepower in a car that weighs 2 tons, over 2 tons. The higher I go up these hills, the more it's begging me for more air. And you can, you put your foot into it and it's just not really as responsive, it's not as fast. Well, turbochargers are going to be able to force that air in much, much faster and give the car what it really needs. But you're still going to lose horsepower. You have to increase the amount of boost you have in a turbocharger in order to compensate for the amount of power loss. So it is a major difference. I'll tell you, if this car had a turbocharger on it, we'd be flying off the hill.
Yeah, we're almost already flying off the hill and we don't have a turbocharger. My God, what would happen if we did?
Yeah, we'd be dead.
We drove the 300C, okay, Nathan drove the 300C, up the mountain to the Buffalo Bill Museum and Grave. Can you hear it? I can. And that's the sound of some good old-fashioned American muscle cooling down. Besides being the home to the Coors Brewery, Golden, Colorado is also home to William Frederick Cody's or Buffalo Bill's grave. The grave sits atop Lookout Mountain, which overlooks the city. Cody, for his part, is known for his Wild West show and, of course, for the killing of thousands of buffalo. So, Nathan, here we are at Buffalo Bill's grave, and that puts a lot of things into perspective.
No, it doesn't. What does it put into perspective?
I mean, we took the car up here and we know exactly how it handles.
What does it have to do with Buffalo Bill's grave?
Well, okay, you got a point there. And you're right, it doesn't put a lot of things into perspective.
No,
that
really
car is an American muscle car. It's meant for the highway. We really need to test it on its natural turf.
In the open road, where the buffalo used to roam.
Exactly, where the buffalo used to roam. So let's take it on the highway and see how it does.
All right.
All right, here we are. We're about to get back on the highway, try out the 300C on a part of I-70 where it goes from being flat to being very, very steep, straight uphill. Nathan, is this a natural environment for this kind of car?
Well, it'd be a lot happier if it had a turbocharger or a supercharger in it.
Oh, you're gonna love the sound of that engine.
It's not bad in the twisties. It's a big front-heavy car. I mean, it's 6.1 liters. It's not exactly small. But on the highway, mellows out. It's smooth. It's nice, actually. I could drive this thing cross-country.
It's a cruiser.
It really is a cruiser. And it's got this amazing sound. It's a symphony. It's beautiful.
Today, the Old West has been tamed, and Buffalo Bill, well, he's still dead. But at least big brawny cars like the 300C SRT8 and Buffalo still roam the New West. So, can you tell where I'm at? I'll give you a hint. This is a Lamborghini pedal car, and it's probably the only Lamborghini that most of us will ever afford. But if you join me, I'll take you for a tour in the factory, and we'll take a ride in the real thing. This is the very first Lamborghini, and you'll note that it's red. But today you won't see very many red Lamborghinis. Why? Well, because Ferruccio Lamborghini, he didn't get along very well with Enzo Ferrari. And of course, Enzo Ferrari, well, you know what color car he's known for. Behind me is over 30 years of Lamborghini history. How much do you suppose all those cars are worth? I was in Italy as part of the Volkswagen Touareg hybrid press preview, but since Volkswagen also owns Lamborghini, they decided to take us to the factory and check out some of their more, well, shall we say, faster cars. But before I got a chance to drive the car, I got a bit of a warning from a more experienced automotive journalist.
Be careful what you do when you have a press preview, like bringing people like a certain writer for a large magazine known for taking press vehicles and putting them into walls and ditches and things like that.
Lamborghini had 4 cars waiting for us to drive, 3 Gallardos, one of them being a special Valentino Balboni edition, more on that later, and a Murcielago. All that horsepower, all that expensive Italian metal, I was nervous to say the least. Here I am behind the wheel of a Lamborghini Gallardo. As you can tell, it's pretty loud. And guess what? That's not even my car. And of course, a great way to meet, well, anybody is to drive one of these cars, because when you go take it for a ride, well, you get a lot of spectators. Crazy, huh? Things about driving this car is the engine note. I mean, that engine is right behind you when you floor it. Listen, it's just crazy. I swore I would do this, but man, it's so much fun. I can't help it. It's just such a huge. Oh God, that's only third gear. We're already doing 160. I have a friend who has a saying, life does not suck. And when I hear him say that, I always think, well, he's pompous and kind of idiotic. But driving a Lamborghini in Italy, I gotta tell you, life does not suck at all. What's the personality of a Lamborghini?
Is a car that you have to control.
A lot of power.
A lot of power. Is a car that makes you feeling like controlling something huge, you know.
Valentino Balboni is a legend at the Lamborghini factory. He's been test driving cars forever, and now he's even got a car named after him. That's it. The Valentino Balboni Lamborghini Gallardo. And in case you're wondering what makes a Lamborghini so special, well, obviously, it's the people who build it. Of course, the real magic doesn't happen in the cafeteria. It happens here at the factory. There are about 25 steps to assemble a Gallardo. 1 hour per step, 25 hours to build a car. The Lamborghini factory only employs about 800 people. And here behind me is the final step of the 25-step process. When they turn the engine on, a new Lamborghini is born. And take a look at this Lamborghini. You won't believe how much it cost. And this is one Lamborghini I don't want to even get near, because it's the most expensive Lamborghini ever made, the Reviton. At 1 million euros, or about 1.3 million USD, well, you don't want to scratch this car. The Lamborghini I drove, the Gallardo, not only is it used by police in Italy, it has over 500 horsepower and all-wheel drive for incredible traction. So, who says a Lamborghini can't drive up a wall? Yes, the great American road trip. Come join me, Roman Micah, and my cohort in crime, Nathan Adlin, as we take a great new American car, the all-electric Tesla Roadster, on a wintry road trip to Estes Park, Colorado. So, there it is, Tesla. We're going to try to take it cross-country. We're going to take it to Estes Park, Colorado, and see how it does both in the canyons and on the long flat straightaways. One of the crazy things about this car is that it's really tiny.
Really tiny.
You've got two guys who are both 6 feet tall trying to get a Tesla, and luckily me and Nathan like each other, because you know, this would not be a good car if you did not like each other.
I wore my deodorant today, so I want you to know that I'm showered and clean.
Good job, Nathan.
I'll take you for a ride, as long as I can be there when you first see the snow.
Nathan, check out this little bitty, insy bitty tiny glove compartment.
Oh,
it's so cute. Look how cute that is. Look, you are such a cute glove compartment.
I don't think it'll hold my iPod or your iPhone.
Yeah, but while the glove compartment may be tiny, the Tesla's power to weight ratio is huge. Nathan is about to go up to Netherlands, and he's about to put his foot down in it. That's what's really fun about this car. With a motor, you've got a power range, and a band in that power range that's got the ideal horsepower. You've got 100% torque all the time, and that gets really addictive.
Oh my god! For one thing, it is really fast. The torque, boom, right away. It is faster off a corner than a lot of Corvettes I've been in and a lot of Porsches I've been in, other than maybe the 911 twin turbo with all-wheel drive. Great grip, surprisingly good grip, good road feel.
But strangely, no engine noise.
It's a little weird driving a car that you're only hearing the wind and tire noise in, So that it takes some getting used to, but once you get used to it, it's like driving a giant remote-controlled car.
An RC car with a 900-pound battery. Since it has summer tires, this car specifically, it's not so good in the snow. So now we're driving on ice. And we're doing about, 20 miles an hour because we don't want to wrap a $158,000 sports car around a beautiful aspen tree.
Well, we're not going to wrap it around the tree. We're going to go flat off the cliff and fly down 4,000 feet.
Nathan, it's pretty snowy out there right now. What do you think will happen if I turn off this TC button?
Don't.
I'm gonna turn it off.
No.
Okay, I'm not gonna turn it off.
You gotta have winter tires on this thing if you're even gonna consider going near ice or snow.
Yeah, we're actually slowing people down now. The one nice thing about the Tesla though is that it does have most of the weight on the rear tires, which are the tires and the wheels, of course, that are providing the traction. So it's not as bad as you would think in the snow. Especially if we had snow tires, I think we'd be all set. After about 50 miles, it was time to switch drivers. So one of the fun things about this car is watching somebody get in and out of it. Here's Nathan trying to get out of the car. Oh my. Look at that.
Got any Crisco oil or KY? My foot's caught under the accelerator.
A word to the viewers, Nathan. Wear size 13 shoes. Please don't destroy the car, Nathan.
No, I'm good.
Oh, that was very graceful. That was good.
Thank you.
Good job. Now, you just watched Nathan getting out of the car. You know how you have those clown cars where there's like 15 or 16 clowns that come out of it? Tesla, 2.
Two large people.
2 large clowns, and you know who those would be. The Tesla only has 1 gear, which is good up to 122 miles an hour. So why does the speedometer say 160? It's a hoot.
A lot more fun without snow.
Yeah, what do you think, Nathan? What's your...
As a passenger, this is great. I know if I'm getting nauseous, it's a good ride.
Just for the record, Nathan did not get nauseous. Here we are in downtown Estes Park, Colorado. And we're going to stop and have a hamburger because we're pretty hungry. But I get a feeling, Nathan, that a lot of people are going to be looking at this car. So, as you can see, we've made it to Estes Park, Colorado. We've driven about 89 miles and we're down to about a half a battery. So figure on a full charge, driving it hard like we would, you get about 150 miles. And as you can tell, the car certainly gets a lot of attention. So what do you think of it?
I love it, man. This car is pretty.
Is this the kind of car that you'd like to take on a Sunday afternoon drive?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Any day of the week drive.
Yeah? If a guy was driving this car, would he look sexier in this car than in like a Honda Civic?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Would this be the kind of car that might entice you?
Yes, maybe.
However, some females, at least the 4-legged kind, don't seem to be impressed. You know, tourists from around the country come to Estes Park, Colorado to see the elk. They go to Rocky Mountain National Park, but they should be going to the Estes Park Brewery because the elk aren't stupid. That's where they're at. So that's where we had lunch until it was time to get back to Boulder. So we fired up the engine. No, make that the motor. Look, there's no exhaust, there's no muffler, there's no nothing. We're back in extended range mode because we've used about half the battery. Just a little bit over half the battery is left right now. And we've got about, I'd say, 50 miles or so before we get back to Boulder. But I think that's certainly something we can do without too much fear. Yet, we're a little worried, aren't we, Nathan?
We're a little worried.
Yeah.
I got my thumb ready for hitchhiking, just in case.
What's your bottom line on this car?
I've driven a lot of cars. I'm a gas-powered guy, and I still rather shift myself. I still rather hear the engine. It's fast. It's dangerous, which makes it a good sports car. Congratulations to Tesla for creating what I consider the first real proper application of battery power in a sports car.
Yeah, and one would hope that this is just the beginning, that in the years to come we'll end up with cars that are this much fun, but cost a fraction of $158,000. And of course, Tesla is working on that car. It's called the Model S, and they hope to sell it for $60,000. This is Roman Micah, and of course, Nathan Adlin reporting. And by the way, we did make it back to Boulder with almost 70 miles of range left. Well, that's it for this first episode. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did, as you can probably tell. Come back next time, and don't forget to keep on chasing the road. Roman Micah for RoadChaser TV.